Hi, it's Non-Gone, and today we're playing Death Stranding on the PS4. This is a speed platinum run. We're going to try and get the trophies as quickly as possible, first to last. You can use these strategies to beat my time. I encourage that all the time. Or if you don't care about time, just want a more simple, easier path to platinum, hopefully this will help as well. This is a special video. Here's the current leaderboard before we start the run. As you can see, I already have the top time. I didn't like the time on this. It's always been bugging me, so I finally decided to use one of my alts, just the Plat, and try to see if I could get this thing under 24 hours. So let's go. So this is the third video in the series, the second of the actual run. I'm going to throw the current counter up here. We're about just under 3 hours into the run. Got 21 trophies already for a big game like this. We're a third of the way done. That's pretty cool. And we're right in the middle of Chapter 3. We just finished Timefall, and we're moving to the distro center to go north again. This is not native recording of the run. I had to kind of patch some stuff together between practice runs and dramatic reenactment. But I promise you we're going to get to Hartman's lab and native video again real quickly. You see this big chunk right here where we just go straight linear from Chapter 5 to the credits. So we'll be there pretty quick. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm going to apologize in advance for this last part. I wrote it. I'm going to say it. Next up, we have this little loop with the junk dealer and his girl problems, and they're really no fun. I got 99 problems and not time on this run. Sounded funnier in my head. Well, anyway, junk dealer's got a bunch of stuff you got to do for him. First, grab the memory chip right by his terminal up here. There's some contaminated cargo, which we'll talk about in a minute. The first thing he's going to do is have you go on a fetch quest down to a BT area, take your trike down there, make sure you get all 110 kilograms of cargo for him. You need the likes for him and miscellaneous. There's also a memory chip up here on this elevated highway, so make that delivery. When you get back, he's going to have you hand carry this little doodad to his girlfriend. It's a good time to grab that contaminated cargo, go straight south and chuck it in the lake on your way over there. Don't mess up and chuck her doodad, or else you'll have to start the mission over. Once you get over to the chiral artist, she'll want you to bring her back so she can see her boyfriend. And you can either do this on a speed skeleton, it'll be faster, or if the game's nice enough to spawn a trike for you, since you had to walk over here, that's even better. One way or the other, make sure you stick to the path that you came here on, otherwise you get stuck in BTs up to the north, and that's no fun. Story wants you to run back to Lake Knot and then down to south, but we're going to do a couple of very important little side things here real quick. First off, the junk dealer has probably the most important non-required delivery in the game. Take his package to the distro center and you will be able to use trucks finally. Woohoo, all right. Once that's done, you want to pick up this delivery for the film director, put it on your truck. Also, you go ahead and send a bot if it's available. About 30 minutes later, you'll get this trophy right here. I also got these two right around this time, so we'll just count all three of them right there. Load up your truck, make your delivery to the film director. As soon as you do, and he's on the network, but before you do anything else, save your game and switch to hard difficulty, and then do whatever you got to do to drive your truck right up to his terminal. Take this big, giant order for Lake Knot, and also this little one for engineer if you want. It's not required, but it helps. And load it right in your truck, and then drive straight up to Lake Knot as soon as possible. On the way, there is another memory chip here in this little pile of cryptobiotes. The icon's kind of hard to pick out with all the little worms floating, but you can do it. And then drop off the engineer. If you did, take the road right back, make your Lake Knot delivery. You get tons of likes for Lake Knot, tons of timed likes, and more importantly, the cooldown starts on that order, and you can do it again in 5 hours, so get her done. As long as we're Lake Knot and on hard difficulty, let's do a few fetch quests. There's 3 you can do here. The next one will pop up as soon as you finish the last one. First 2 are down the steps by the boat you came in on. Just drive the truck down there and back. Third one's in the mule camp just south. Take the trike, bolo whoever's in your way, come on back. There's a memory chip on the truck in the back of Lake Knot here, so grab that during one of the first 2. Another chip in the mule camp in a tent, so get that one as well. That little extra bit only takes like 15 minutes, and man, does it check a lot of boxes going forward. Okay, back to very easy and back to the story. You're going to have a small thermonuclear device in your possession. Good luck with that. You can go to the distro center straight away, but you might as well take some standard orders for them, engineer and craftsman. They're on the way. It's free real estate. Once you get there, go ahead and pick up the intro order for the cosplayer as well. I know it's a time delivery with the bomb, but it's on the way. Plus, you can sneak up past this road paver and come at the lake from the south and avoid the BTs, so definitely cool. Once you get done with that, head to South Knot, make your delivery. You'll finally be done with Chapter 3. Very long and detailed chapter. We're going to scoot pretty fast the rest of the game to the credits, so... All right, Chapter 4 is going to be your private room. Then you're going to run up. You're going to have this little World War I type scenario with Cliff. You just run forward to him. You only have to shoot him. You don't have to shoot his minions, but it does help. You will have to do it 4 times to finish the chapter. It takes about 7 minutes, I think. You can run across the trenches, too, if you want, but you will take damage while you're doing that, so keep that in mind. Once that's done, Chapter 4 is out, and we'll get control for Chapter 5. Let's go! Chapter 5 is called Mama. It took me about an hour and 10 minutes. I got these 4 trophies on the way. The first and last will just happen naturally. Supply requests can be issued from your cufflink by now, and you'll get the snooze and soothe by resting in the field, taking a nap anytime you have less than full health. So those 4. When you first get control, turn around and go around to the back of South Knot. There's a memory chip down here in this little river. Then head out to Mama's house. Right before you get there, there's another memory chip in the cave right there. She'll chat with you and then send you back to South Knot to have a chat. Your next story mission is going to be at the distro center and go out to the very far west and up into the mountains. But we're going to take some stuff on the way. There's a real nice big delivery for that distro center, so grab that. Also, the cosplayer's got a couple of standard orders, or 1 at least. And then the second pizza delivery for Peter Englert is there as well. Drive to the distro and drop off the cosplayer on the way, just the way you came down here. Pick up the story mission for the way station up in the mountains. Also, this mission for the Elder. Grab 2 PCCs and head north. Round about here-ish, where you're looking up the mountain, you want to put a PCC and make it a zip line and then run up the hill. We're going to do this ahead of time and put this right here at the corner. And now you've got a way to get up to the Elder later on when you need it. Drop his stuff off, zip back to your trike, and drive on over to deliver the pizza, and then head straight to the way station. You can kind of go right along the tar lake and then head left to go up the hill to get to him pretty easy. Way station's going to have a time delivery to the second distro center in the west. On the way, you want to stay up on top of the hill, and about 4 ridges over, you'll get another memory chip here up on the mountain. And then head straight towards your waypoint. You'll come across the terrorist camp right here. They got a memory chip. Just blast in, grab it, and get on out, and drive as fast as you can to the distro center, and that'll be done. Oh yeah, this is probably one of my favorite splits of the game right here. First start out by taking some road materials out to the paver, grab this memory chip on the truck right outside the distro on your way back. Now strap that bomb to your back and head on the trike over to Mountain Knot City. On the way, keep the mountains close on your right and you will meet the novelist's son. Right down below him is a piece of lost cargo. Grab that and run to his terminal and deliver it to get him on the network, or at least started anyway. There's a very specific route you want to be able to drive and get to know here. You want to kind of go from the novelist's son across the plains. There should be an online safe house here. I really hope there is. You're going to use it and need it. You can go right up the left side of the river and then cross over and head up kind of this way to get to Mountain Knot City. And they will completely rebuff you and not want to talk to you at all. If you follow the story, they'll suggest that you go talk to Mama. And so the easiest way to get over there is to go back down to that safe house and teleport. If not, find the closest place you could fast travel and get on over there to South Knot, head over to Mama's, and she's going to want you to take her all the way over to the mountains. So there's a few ways to do this, but I have found this is really neat and probably the most efficient. I saw this on one of the speedruns that I saw, so it's really cool. When you get to South Knot, load up the trike, 2 PCCs, and at least 2 packs of grenades and head to Mama's. As soon as she chats and tells you too much information, head on out. There will be a catcher that you got to blow up, so grab their crystals, get back on the bike, and head for Mountain Knot. If you go straight over the back here by this little busted overpass, you can cross the river, drop a generator right here as you're going up the hill, right as you lose your network, and you can charge your bike to get up there. You want to aim for the white slopes ahead here, and then drop over the back here in the saddle. There will be a piece of lost cargo that goes to the roboticist. You want to grab that cargo. It's right by her place. Drop it off, and now she'll be on the network, and there's a story mission that you can now avoid and not have to even come up here. We're going to start building zip lines, so be pretty particular about where you put them. Put one right here, and then if you need another PCC, make it at the roboticist. Head right up to this little point on the little hillside here. It should be in the roboticist network, and it'll be zippable from the one you just put down. So make sure you get it right there. And then you just drive straight on down. Right before you get to Mountain Knot, there's a memory chip in the tar pit there. And that's pretty much it. So once you drop her off, Chapter 5 is complete. And Chapter 6 mostly going to take a while because the zip lines that we're going to put in up in the mountains, you could probably do it faster, but we're going to go a little bit deliberate and make sure that this will be easy to get to instead of traipsing around in the snow. So let's get started. Grab 5 PCCs, your trike, in the order for the doctor. Put one up on the hill right here so you can see around you. And then walk over there. There should be a bridge there. Meet the doctor and put another zip line here and zip back to your trike. You got a delivery coming up for the Mountaineer, so head up the back and put another zip line right here. on the other side of Mountain Nut City. And then up in the BT area, there's a little rock outcropping. You want to get as far away from Mountain Nut as you can. You're going to put one up on the mountain ridge next, and it's almost exactly 300 meters. However you do it, cross the BT line on your trike and head up to the very top here and put another zip line right there, and then ride your trike over to Mountaineer and make your delivery. There is a memory chip in the BT area between the 4th and 5th zip line you put in. You don't have your odor deck right now, though, so it is a little bit dicey, but, you know, do your best. Okay, now you're at the Mountaineer, but he doesn't like you yet. Now he gives you a time delivery to go to the doctor and back. Drive your bike to the zip line you just put in and zip over to the doctor, get his stuff, come back, make your delivery. There, you're good to go. Throw another zip line right here to connect the whole thing up, and leave your bike up here. You need it for the next part. So run down the hill. There's another memory chip in the cave in this little ridge along the way. Look for an online trike either in the field or at the safe house as you go down, and then meet the photographer. Do her fetch quest, make your way back to Mountaineer either by safe house fast travel or legging it back up the hill. Grab the spiritualist delivery and at least 4 more PCCs. You're going to have to drive up there in a whiteout. Once she's online, throw a zip line right here outside of her place, and then drive your bike back into the whiteout at the peak, and you should be able to connect the whole zip line up right there. After that, head straight past the spiritualist and up this little hill. Right at the crest here, you should be able to look down and see the first prepper's place, and there should be a line of network connectivity issues. Put another zip line right here so that you can get up here later on. After that, drive your bike over and meet Deadman. Chapter 6, pretty much the same as Chapter 4, just a different map. Shoot him 4 times, you'll end up back in Mountain Nut. Nice job. My apologies the next 10 minutes. This is the part where I have no video at all, so hang in there. You will look just like this dramatic reenactment, except it'll be Mama on your back, and you won't be me live in Iceland. Take 2 PCCs in a trike and head up the back towards Hartman up the mountains. There's a building right here with a memory chip. Grab that and then put a zip line down right in front of it. You can set Mama down to do all this if you want. She won't go anywhere. And then there's a second memory chip covered in BTs in this dark building right back here. So make sure you grab that, then head on over to Hartman's and drop her off. We're back to live video for the rest of the run. Yay! When you get control, put a zip line down right by his steps and then drive back up to the crest of the hill to connect the line you just made. Back to Hartman's, you get another bomb on your back again. You're in the mountains now, so be super, super careful. Side of the hill, right up by where the network stops, another zip line. Drive to the geologist, put your bomb in the private locker for a minute. Put a zip line here on this rock, and then drive back up the mountain and put one on the peak that connects Hartman, geologist, and the roboticist one from earlier. Back down past the furthest one you just did and put one on this little peak here. Then further down towards the paleontologist, look for the network line and put one right here with as much view as you can get. Leave your trike, zip back to geologist, grab the bomb, head back to the trike, and deliver it to the paleontologist. I really wish we were done, but we're not. We got one more prepper to connect. Paleontologist will make you grab some stuff in the VOG, so use your mask and a ladder if you need it, or a climbing anchor. Once he's connected, put a zip line right here behind him, and then retrace your steps and connect that one to the one going to the geologist, either up on this cliffside or up on the other one. It works either way. Take the order for Evo Devo and put a zip line on this slope before you go over the edge, connects it to the last one, and then once you reach her and do her fetch quest, put a zip line right here outside her house and upgrade it with 240 chemicals and 480 special alloys. She should have these at her terminal. Make sure you leave the bike at the Evo Devo. You will need it, and it is very important that you have it. Take at least 2 PCCs and walk back towards the paleontologist till you get to the top of the ridge here. Connect it with either 1 or 2 zip lines, depending on how precise you are. And well, what do we have here? If you did it right, you have a complete zip line network that connects all 10 locations in the mountains. No more walking ever. Post games, it's probably the biggest time saver. It sucks driving around up here, and walking's even worse. So nice job. Zip to Hartman's, get your order for the relay. Zip to Evo Devo, take the bike south. There's a memory chip in the mule camp again. Grab that, blast in and blast out. At the relay, try to store your trike somewhere. You really want it there when you come back. Let the BTs oof ouch my bones you to the lake, and then head for Amelie to get to the western region. There's 2 locations. That's all here. They don't need stars. 3 memory chips. The first one's outside of the first location. Sometimes it's not here, though. I don't know if it's like an email thing or what, but this time it was, so we got it. Second one's about halfway down in the trench here, and then the third's right at the terminal at Edge Knot. When you get to Edge Knot, grab like 8 rocket launchers to fight this giant thing. Head back to the private room and fight this dope. You can hit him with drop cargo to move it along. And then 4 more rocket launchers when you come back out of that, and your trike that you left here before. You can take the trike all the way up to the shore. It'll end up south of Timefall, and there's only one BT you have to watch out for, so don't get caught. Make a few assault rifles if you can at Timefall. Drive to Lake Knot. Right before Lake Knot, you'll get to fight Cliff again. I'm sure you know how to do it at this point, so we'll move on. Back in the East region, head to Capital Knot as fast as you can. There's a big whale to take out at the end. Hopefully you still got some rockets. You will get a whole bunch of credits and a whole bunch of other stuff happening. At the beach, you do not have to shoot that person. You can put your gun away and give her a hug, so make sure you do that to move on. And then the last delivery is pretty easy mechanically, but really tough emotionally, so I'm going to leave that redacted. And you'll be done with Chapter 14. You're done with the main story. Congratulations. Nice job. You rock. If you follow the guide, you'll be about 9.5 hours into the run. You have 40 of the 63 trophies and I think 34 memory chips. Can't get a better stopping point than this, so we're just going to call it here. We will pick up the next video in post-game, and I bet we can cover everything else in one video, including the final time. So thanks as always for watching. I will see you then in the next video. In the meantime, stay bad, people. Non-gone is gone.